I logged in Raid Shadow Legends this morning to be greeted by a guaranteed champion event, an epic champion with 40 ancient shards. You are guaranteed to have this champion. I do not know what this champion does. I think it's kind of new to the game, so I wanted to hit the record button, read it out to you so we can all decide whether this champion is worth pulling 40 ancient shards over. So let's get right into this video. This event also coincides with a Theresc event for other champions that I will review later, but let's get straight into this one, which we are here for without wasting any time. The name is Theresc. It's an epic champion. Straight off the bat, you can see an arrow. That means this champion will be hitting multiple targets in one go. So we're hoping it will be on the A1. No, it's not. The A1 is a 2-hitter. Each hit has a 25% chance of decreasing the duration of a random debuff for 1 turn. So with a 2-hitter, that means you'll be able to land this most of the time. If you book it up, it will be up to 45% chance of decreasing the duration. Or when you count it, since it's hitting twice, it is almost 80% chance of decreasing the duration of a random debuff for 1 turn. Which each hit has a chance of increasing. I thought it's decreasing. No. I read that wrong. She increases the duration of a debuff on the enemies. So we're talking about a mini Vizier. All right. Since it's an epic, you don't expect this A1 to do more than this. But it's for 80% chance that hits twice. It's really, really good. So I'm thinking clan boss. That's where we usually need to increase the duration of debuffs on a target. All right, on the A2 that's a 3-hitter right there. It's not still not an AoE. I guess this is what the 3 arrows are for. Each hit has a 40% chance of removing 1 random buff from the target. So she's decreasing duration of debuffs. She's removing buffs from them. I'm hoping these 2 skills will hit so hard, because so far they are not too impressive, because this is not a champion you want to occupy a slot in your team, except you're going against targets that have a lot of buffs, or against the clan boss where you want to keep increasing duration of debuffs, and you do not have other champions that can do better than this. So then the A2, it's not looking so special also, but it can be booked up to a 60% chance of removing 1 random buff. Just 1. Come on. But it's each hit, therefore it's 60 60 60 since she hits 3 times. You always have a chance of removing up to 2 or 3 buffs from the target. On the A3, attacks all enemies. Now this is the AoE we have been looking for. We love AoE champions. This is on a 3-turn cooldown. I hope yes it is. It doesn't require any cooldown from the skills, and has a 50% chance of decreasing resist. Decrease resist is kind of new to the game. I guess this is why Playroom decided to make this champion a guaranteed champion, because decrease resist is kind of something most players are trying to get or trying to test out right now, especially end game players that are trying to see how they can use this new debuff that is available to the game to add the advantage in Doom Tower and other content that really have high resist. So having decreased resist on a enemy means you need less accuracy on your allies. So if you bring this champion into the battle, although that's a 4-turn cooldown when booked, consider using a champion that can increase the duration of this decrease resist. And guess what? This champion has an A1 that can increase the duration of debuffs. So yes, it's looking like this champion will be useful, because you do not need an additional champion to increase the duration of this skill for her. She might do it by herself with the A1. So you want her to place the decrease resist, increases with the A1. So you might not even need this skill, except they have buffs on them. So you want to be using only these 2 in battles, especially against champions that have really high resist. But how do you land this skill? First of all, you need high accuracy on this champion, because imagine a champion that has a lot of resist and you're trying to decrease their resist. You need accuracy high enough to land it first before their resist can be so low for other champions to now do work on them. Let's see if the passive makes this skill any better. Yes, it does. It inflicts 10% more damage against targets whose resist is lower than this champion's accuracy. So like I said, you want to take this champion to 300, 400 accuracy as much as you can, so she can land this debuff on a lot of high resist champions or bosses especially. So she also increases her attack 10% when you have more accuracy than the champion you are fighting against. So this champion will be built for damage, but if you want her to be doing these two skills, you might not even want to stack damage on her. You might need to focus on survivability. But we'll find out if she can survive though, because usually when they bring a champion like this that can do an awesome skill, they make her so squishy that you end up not having to build attack stats on her. So let's see if she'll be awesome though. Increased crit rate in all battles by 12% is also kind of useful if you do not have enough crit rate. So will this champion be worth 40 ancient shards? No. Why do I say so? Because once you spend 40 ancient shards to pull this champion, guess what? Next week you begin to pull this champion, duplicates again, duplicates here and here. So because we have so many chances of getting duplicates of this champion in the game, it's not one of those champions that you get from only this event. Once you start pulling shards later on, you will still eventually pull so many duplicates of her. So I don't feel it's wise right now to spend your ancient shards on this champion. That's my verdict. Despite how good she is, despite how the ability for her to decrease resistance and also increase the duration of that debuff, I think she's not worth 40 ancients. If there's maybe 20 ancient shards, she might be worth 20. But 40 is just too much, especially when we're trying to save our shards for the next event that is coming up. So that's my verdict. This champion is not worth it. Let me let me know if you guys think she is, if you'll be rushing for it. But if you're an endgame player who is kind of a low spender and you do not mind pulling for new champions that you want to test out or something, go for it. But I will not be pulling shards for this champion. Now let's see the other event that is currently going on. Is a 10x event for this champion. What do these champions all have in common? Ally protection. So they do have ally protection in common, and I know that because I do have Tyrant Elixirmo on my team. He's an HP burn champion, so no, HP burn is not what they have in common, but he's best known for his HP burn for the spider. People say he's kind of better than Drexter for HP burn, but there's an epic who is better than both Drexter and him for HP burn for the spider though. So but for other Doom Tower content, he comes in really handy to keep your team alive, increase defense also. And the champion I'm looking at also, apart from legendary champion, is also this one, Kyoko. I do not know what this champion does. I've seen her once or twice in the arena. I'm trying to beat a team. I'm like seeing strange champions there, and the next thing I see is increased defense. I did not know that this champion has a passive like Seeker that has the ability to place increased defense on all allies when you hit critical hits, just like Seeker does. It's on a 4-turn cooldown also. I don't know if Seeker's on is on a 4-turn cooldown. So she does also have ally protection, but check out what her ally protection does. It's kind of different from other ally protection I've seen in the game. She places block damage with her ally protection, just like the epic champion Sepulchre's Sentinel. What's her name now? Sandler Survivor. Yeah, she places ally protection just like Sandler Survivor, but it's not a passive skill, it's an active skill. So that means she will just do this skill on a 4-turn cooldown. But see where it's different. It places block damage for 3 turns. I've not seen this before. Block damage for 3 turns is kind of huge, but Playground was wise about it. When she places that block damage, she takes an extra turn. That means she has automatically used 1 turn of the block damage and she's left with 2 turns of block damage. 2 turns of block damage is still okay for her to be able to protect the entire team who is taking less damage from ally protection. So she will not be going down for putting ally protection on herself, just like a Krisk. I do not like champions that place ally protection and leave themselves so exposed, like Tyrant does. His ally protection does not do anything special for him. He just places ally protection on all allies except himself and increase defense on everybody also. But he's not protected, so he takes a lot of damage. But I'll grant you that he does have a lot of defense that he can survive the hits though. But eventually, if he doesn't heal up, he will go down. So this champion is not going down. So for an ally protection, Krisk is always better. Kyoko now I'm seeing is also awesome for that because of the block damage. And also for budget, for your budget teams, for arena, I mean for, what do you call this team now? For Clan Boss, I mean, Sandler Survivor is always MVP because she doesn't only bring ally protection on the passive, she also brings this skill which increases the duration of all your buffs by 1 turn. That's a lot what people use her for, more than even her ally protection, if you do not know. So that's the short one I wanted to review in this video. This is new. This is new to me. Andresia also has ally protection, I guess. Let's see if her ally protection is special though. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. So she basically removes their buffs because most of the enemy buffs last for 2 turns. So if she takes this skill, which is on a 3-turn cooldown, she will clear their buffs off. It's as good as a cleanse. She increases the duration of all increased defense buff on allies. That means I hope she places increased defense. If she's kind of trying to increase our duration of our buffs, but it's only increased defense that she increases, I hope her passive does have, yes, it does strengthen and increase defense, but it's on a 5-turn cooldown. That's a weird passive. So I guess her ally protection is not that special. So just like Sandler Survivor's passive, let's see, Sandler Survivor passive is also in a 5-turn cooldown, but you can book it up to 4. So hers is better, I guess, because it also comes with a block damage. This is better. This is a void champion, and they made her so strange with her ally protection. Oh, I guess why, because it comes with a strengthen. Her ally protection comes with a strengthen for 2 turns, so I guess that's why they made it not go for 4-turn cooldown instead of 5. On the A2, she has a chance to place stun. Now I guess this one is kind of special because if you have buffs on your team, she will place stun for 2 turns. If you do not have buffs on your team, she will place stun for 1 turn. So either way, the enemies are getting stun, but it's a 1-target stun, so it's not like an AoE stun or anything. But it's on a 3-turn cooldown, which makes you able to take out one of the enemy from the battle entirely if you have enough accuracy on her. But check her skill out, that she has decreased crit damage also on the A1, which is not common in the game. 40% chance of placing decrease crit damage. So this champion is a full support champion that can decrease damage, place stun, or protect your allies with increased defense and strengthen, and also ally protection if you want to. So I'm not sure she's better than Sandler Survivor 4, but I think she brings a lot to the battles, especially those decreased crit damage if you want them. I just wanted to review this Terresk champion, and also review this one that is available called Theresc. It's new to me, so let me know if you'll be pulling 40 ancient shards for this champion in the comments below. Do you think she's worth it, or are you going to wait like me and pull her naturally from a normal shard on a normal day, or in a 2x ancient or a 2x sacred event next week or next month? That's all I wanted to review in this video. But before I do end this video, I like to end it with pulling my oh, I clicked the wrong button now, because Playroom always brings pop-ups on you when you don't need them. Come on. I wanted to end this video by seeing how lucky I am in the clan boss today. We start with Ultra Nightmare. I don't know if the order which you claim your rewards on depends on what you get. That's a void, and that's an ancient. Void and ancient from a Ultra Nightmare chest is not a nice one. Ultra Nightmare chest. So today is not my week. I mean, today is not my day. Maybe tomorrow we'll get them with a sacred shards. All right. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new, or if the first time you're seeing this face. I'll see you guys in the next Raid Shadow Legends video. Later, guys.